system. Activating combat mode.
Well, hello, chat. How is everyone doing? Oh, music. Get that going.
Main system engaging combat mode.
Get that music down here. Turn that down. It's way loud in my ears. Holy cow. It was so loud in my ears. Never seen a launch screen before, Titanic? Yep, that's my startup when I start the stream. Man, a lot of you in here already. My goodness. This is a topic. Oh boy. Anyways, I see they're all on the Twitch side. They're all teasing. I appreciate you. So, welcome everybody in. Let me see if I get everyone on the YouTube side. Nineball, Seraph, Aridin, Nurgle, as always. Faithful Nurgle. I will juggle. Bloomboy, Titanic, Paul Lutador, Metal Wolf, Lego Mania, Defio, Ola, hey Griffin. Man, there's a whole lot of you already. Man, I never would have thought this would be a hot topic. Now, I made a joke months ago, that I'm never doing a tier list thing, but there's just been so many put out there the last couple days. And yeah. Hey, Shinsu, I understand. I completely get it. I hope you get some sleep. So this is my thought process. Ready? Here's what I'm thinking. So you have. It's hard. I'm not gonna call this the definitive list. I'm not gonna say this is the list, the be all end list. That this is the ranking for sure. None of that junk. All right. Armored Core appeals to a vast different audience of people for a vast number of reasons. So anyone claiming they have the definitive list is full of it. Just gonna throw it out there right now. That being said, what I plan on doing is, so on the left side of the screen is going to be my personal ranking. It's going to be how I personally feel about the game. My personal preference, my personal ideas about the game. Whereas listed on the right is going to be my attempt at an objective list. Now, objective, I mean, it's going to be based on what the game brought, what it did for the series, what new additions, if it removed anything, or what did it change, what did it improve, what did it make worse, some other nuances, things like that. I actually jokingly thought about putting in more stuff in here, like a Xbox 360 version of FA versus the PS3 version, which I'll go talk about that later. I even joke about even adding the demo disc in here as a joke. But yeah. Also, by the way, if the music's too quiet, let me know. I have it pretty down pretty low, but I want to make sure you can hear me fine. Like, there's like Japanese versions versus English versions even. There's some difference between the different versions based on where it was released. So yeah, that matters. All right, so that being said, if you would like to get in on this, I'm making 3 lists technically. Where on mobile 1 and 2, I thought about adding them, I decided to leave them off. They're so niche that I didn't think like they're worth adding. I can always add them if you want me to, but I was planning on leaving them separately. I think they're their own thing. They're too different from the rest of the series, in my opinion. They can make the same argument about Formula Front. I almost thought about pulling it off this list too, but I'm going to leave them separate. Yeah, add the Sailor Moon hack version for the memes. Yes, I could do that too. So here you go. This live tier maker poll. The live tier maker poll is we open for 1 week from today. You can click on that link. You can rank the games where you wish to rank them. I'm going to aggregate this information across anywhere. I'm going to post it on social media, on Twitter, on Discord, a bunch of places, and try to get as much input as possible. And I'm curious what the collective ranking will end up being after that happens. I'm genuinely curious. Now, something different about my tier list as well, as you may have noticed. The lowest ranking I have is B. I don't think any Armored Core game, no matter how you may personally feel about it, is below a B. I've enjoyed all the games. I think they're all objectively worth playing on their own, and they stand on their own to a certain level. Not saying they're perfect, but I think you should play them regardless of what people may think about them. So so my lowest ranking I have is B, then B plus, A plus, S, then S plus. All right. This is going to be reserved for those that have a lot of problems, in my opinion, or issues. And this is going to be like the creme de la creme is at the top, obviously. All right. So without further ado, let's get this started. All right. Mobile 2 would sweep it was on here, you know, Cleric. Maybe Lego, maybe. All right. So Armored Core 1. So start with my personal list. Armored Core 1997 was such a formative year for me because of this game. Like, it locked it in my brain forever. And for Pete's sake, my channel is called Cleric Armored Core. And it all started with this game. Like, it all started here. So it's hard from a personal perspective to not give it a pretty decent ranking. You didn't even exist then. Thank you for making me feel old, Juggle. I appreciate that. I know I'm old, okay? I turn 40 next year. Big 40 next year. So thank you for calling me old. I think for me personally, because it was the first entry of the series, due to its storied history, and how the game like just fundamentally changed so many things for me, I am gonna put this in the A+ tier. I love this game. I've beaten it multiple times, but I can't see myself ranking it higher because I've played other ones more. So I think this is a pretty solid place for me to put it, just because the importance of the game itself, in my personal view, I think that's where I'm going to put it. That's for my personal ranking. Now, from an objective ranking, a little bit different. There are some performance issues. Oh, you turned 18 in 2 days. Well, happy birthday. Happy early birthday. There are some performance issues with AC1. Especially if you want to look at the versus thing. The versus thing is a nightmare. There is a lot it had going for it, a lot of ideas. You could tell they were building on it, but the later gauges did so many things so much better that in retrospect, one just kind of pales in comparison to a lot of the games. Yes, AC1 was my first AC game. Yep. Actually, technically, Shinzu, my first AC game was the demo disc for PS1 for AC1. That's how far back I go. All the way back to AC1 on the original demo disc for the PlayStation 1. That was my start. All the way back in 97. So I think with all that being said, I think the game fundamentally, objectively belongs right about here. Like I said, remember, don't forget, this is still a B+. It's still a good game. I don't think any of these games are horrible or bad. So just because it's on the bottom of the list does not make it, you know, bad. It just means that the other games are just better. That's interesting, Shinsu. Huh. Nice, Boom Boy. The random odds happenstance of things sometimes. A's not above A+. A+ is right here. A is here. Does it look wrong on the screen? My screen should be right. This is B+ here. This is B. Hope it doesn't look weird. Is that on the... Oh, on the live tier maker it's messed up? Hold up. Oh, dear. All right, here. Scratch that. Let me make a new one. Whoops. Let's make a new one. Why did it do that? We're making a new one, chat. Give me a second. We'll have to update that. B, S, A+, A, B+, B. Boo. Whoops. Thank you for pulling that out, Teason. I'm going to fix that now. There we go, chat. We have a new one now. Here you go. We're going to have to go with that one. Let me update my text here, too. And update on the text. There we go. Thank you all, Teason. I appreciate it. It helps me out a lot. That's now correct. All right. So that's where I put it here. I think you just did it better. All right. So Project Phantasma. From personal perspective, I love this game. I love Project Phantasma. I love it. I love this game. I love Stinger as an antagonist. I love his evolution. I love his voice acting on the English side of things. I love the goofiness of his entrances and exits. It makes me laugh when I think about it all the time. The Phantasma weapon, it was just a random thing to come up I wasn't expecting in the game. And then the addition of the arena to the game, which the arena is like one of my all-time favorites. Anyone ever heard me talk about these games knows I love the arenas. I love the bios and all of these things. Sometimes it's Stinger until he doesn't like annoyances. Many, Jacko. Many. By the way, welcome in, Jacko. So, yeah. I love Project Phantasma. Also, I'm not sure why this tier list has a mixture of the JP art and the English art, but whatever. So a personal perspective, I love Project Phantasma. I love it. All right. So for me personally, it goes into S tier, not S plus. It's not creme de la creme. Heater on. I feel a little cold. Right before I came back for the stream chat, I ran outside real fast with my kids right before right as they were going to bed, because you can see the northern lights from my house today. All the way in Illinois, you can see the northern lights. I got a nice picture. So we all went out there, kids all saw it, we took pictures. It was really cool. I love Phantasma. I love it as a boss. I love some of the music that Phantasma introduced. The theming, which is only AC1 technically, but you get that point. The way they did the theming. I love the intro on it. Like, there's so much about the arena. I love the arena as an AC. I love the bios. Like, adding the arena is huge in my eyes. Phantasma is the only game you haven't played? What? Griffin, you could sit down and beat that in an afternoon. Like the single player story, the single player missions, like you could do it like in 3-4 hours. Done. Seriously, it's short. Yeah, exactly. So exactly what I say. It's worth the play. It's a short playthrough. You should play it for real. It won't take you long at all. That's not including the arena. You're talking 3 or 4 hours. Oh yeah, yeah. Not to mention the stinking finger is the most hilarious weapon ever. One of the most hilarious weapons ever found. Gotcha. Well, I highly encourage it. The Project Phantasma is a short playthrough, but it's worth playing. It is. Now, from an objective standpoint, gave Necron the finger. That's correct. It's the sound of the finger. Yeah, the WA-finger. Now, from an objective standpoint, it took some things that Armored Core did well and improved on it a little bit. The more linear story, though, with less choices, did kind of irk me a little bit by comparison. But the addition of the arena and how that works was such a huge thing, because like, if you're like me, it was really hard to find people to play against in this game that you didn't just absolutely smoke, or they just kind of gave up playing because of the controls. The arena would like give you a way like to hone your skills against difficult opponents and build ACs and adjust your ACs and make them better. That's what the arena allowed you to do from a single player standpoint. So I rank it. I rank Project Phantasma just above AC at an A rank. All right, that's where I'm gonna put it. All right, now Master of Arena. This game, chat. Like, I mean, you want to talk about content rich? There was so much in this game, they had to make it 2 discs. Hey, Kyman. What's up, Moto Kid? There was so much stuff in this game, they had to make it 2 discs. Like, for real. For real. So much content. The EX arenas, the fact that you had like the people from the Champions League from Japan in the official tournaments right on here. There is so much to this game. The return of 9-ball, and now you also get 9-ball Seraph. That whole drop down scene is just utterly incredible. This game is insane. This game is insane. It's so stinking good. So and it was, the thing is though, this game legitimately difficult. Like, we talk about a lot of the missions and the arenas in this game. Yeah, Jacko brings it up. Yeah, just this, the difficulty in this thing is nuts. Nuts. Absolutely nuts difficulty. Insane. Yeah, so this for me personally, all the way at the top, S+ tier. S+ tier. So unbelievably good. Now, from an objective standpoint, it essentially took Armored Core and Project Phantasma, blended them together, and then turned the dial up to 11, and then gave us a game. That's what Master of the Arena is from the objective standpoint. There is so much to this game. From just a purely objective, just as a game as a whole, just the game itself. There's so much game here. There is so much game here. The value is insane. And the boss fights being good, the missions being memorable. Like, it just... I'm sure it won't come as a shock. This is the first time my tier list is going to match this list. I think objectively, Master Arena is no pun intended, or maybe pun intended in my case. I like to make puns. Master Arena is a masterpiece of a game. Master of Arena is fantastic. It deserves to be at the top of the list. It is super good. Super good. So good it hurts. It's so good. All right. So that's Gen 1. That is Gen 1. As of Gen 1, that is where we sit, chap. Personal list. You know, Master Arena, Project Phantasma, AC1 on my personal list, S+, S, and A+. In my objective list. Oh yeah, the ending animation too. Almost forgot about this. You're right. The ending animation is sick too. Yeah. This. So here on the S+. Yes, you do, Zephio. Do it. Gen 1 is awesome. I love Gen 1. And of course, you know, Project Phantasma, then that. So AC2. Now, I've noticed, so I'm making this list because there have been so many tier lists shared online and social media spaces. AC2 has been getting the shaft everywhere. Everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. All right? What's up, Sabbath? Like, I've seen AC2 at the bottom of so many tier lists, like, straight up. Stinking everywhere. Yeah, Jacko, exactly. The cinematics really did take off in Master Arena. Exactly. Like, if you look at almost all the tier lists, AC2 is almost always either at the very bottom or close to the bottom. If people aren't making memes out of AC6 not being AC or out of Nexus or things like that. But so essentially what 2 does, 2 is like a direct evolution of like the Gen 1 game. Like you actually can see, like, if you were just to throw AC2 graphics onto Master Arena or whatever, or take Master Arena in with AC2 graphics or vice versa, you would think you're playing roughly the same generation of games. They control so similar that it is a direct line of revolution. All right. Now, AC2 has a special place for me specifically. One, it's the first one on the PS2. I got it early on the PS2's life cycle. Also, chat, this was the first AC game I played with Zealous. The first AC game I ever played with my best friend in the whole world, my best man at my wedding, fellow Armored Core super fan, fellow Armored Core Legacy member, the Mr. AC Drip himself. The first game I ever played in versus mode against him was AC2. So it's really hard for me not to love this game. Like, just being straight up honest, it's hard for me not to straight up love this game. All right? Hard not to love it. Now, because I love it so much, it's one of my, mostly because of Zealous, and that's a big part of it. I'm gonna put it up here in A+. All right, it deserves to be on the top half of the games. Now, from an objective standpoint, oh, Griffin just mentioned it. There are performance issues with this game. There are some performance problems with this game. Slowdowns were just a constant struggle sometimes in this game as a whole. Frame rates dropping down to like 2 frames per second at times. I mean, it was rough. All right, rough. Now, I appreciate the mission structure in AC2, other than the start's a little bit slow. I like the fact that I like the mission selections in AC2. I like Klein. Klein's one of my all-time favorite bosses in the series. I love Klein. So it's hard. It's hard to live it, and also this is where AC2 is where they introduced the voice acting for the mission stuff. And when I think of Armored Core 2, you know, let me look it up. You know, let me see if I can find a quick video of it. The Rectena installation. Let me pause the.
Undermined is there.
Here you go, chap. You gotta hear this nonsense. This is what I think of it, right? Here you go.
Please attack.
Oh, wait, here, I got turn. Let me turn your audio. Oh, sorry. Let me fix the audio. Get a little quiet. There you go.
Please attack Geomatrix's energy collection facility. The target is the Rectena installation in the Hellas Plain. Solar devices blanket the area, collecting sunlight and converting it into energy for use in the major Martian cities. The goal is to undermine the public trust in Geomatrix by destroying their ability to supply a necessary commodity, power. Destroy the facility and all Rectena devices.
It's just when I think of mission briefings, this is what I think of, right? Well, shout out to Clora for having. I just looked up Rectena installation, and that's the first one that popped up. Yeah, so when I think of like AC, oh, I can turn the volume down on the music now. So when I think of Armored Core, like I think of Armored Core mission briefings, that's the brain that automatically comes into my head. So the introduction of voice acting on like the mission briefings is a great touch, a smart call on their part. I love the vibe and aesthetic of like the menuing in the game. But yeah, it's yeah. So, like I said, the biggest problem with it is the performance issues. It struggles performance-wise from a game series perspective. So I'm probably going to put this, objectively speaking, as a game, I'm gonna probably put it here in the A section. Bottom half, I think it's really good on its own. I think it stands on its own for a variety of reasons. But I don't think it deserves top half because it does have some major performance problems. Like, that really does hold it back a fair bit. All right, now, this is going to be the first place where I'm probably going to diverge from a lot of people. All right? Just throwing it out there. Throwing it out there. Right? I have two lists for a reason. My personal take list, my personal feelings about the game, and the objective list. All right? There's a reason that exists. Okay? Another Age. From my perspective, despite the utterly incredible versus missions in the game, which are mwah, chef's kiss, love those to death, love them to death. All right. Now, Sam, like I said, when I say objective, I'm trying to say how the game stands alone by itself versus my own personal feelings. It's kind of like the music tournament.
I've got your back, buddy.
Please consider ranking AC4 properly because of Jeff Cagley's review. It's a 53-sec bad take. Please look it up when you get to it.
Looks like the guest of honor's here.
What is going on? What is happening right now? First of all, thank you, Big Rigs, for the $5 to tell me, please review AC4, rank AC4 fairly, because Jeff Keighley hated it. You're not wrong. And then Jekumon with the raid. Yo, Jekumon and his viewers, welcome. I can't believe I'm making a tier list, but there's been so many, I decided I'd tip my hat at it. Anyways, to explain it, if you want to vote, I'm doing a public vote one as well. I'll put it in the chat just now. You can click on that and you can make your own list. It'll actually aggregate all the lists together. People who vote on that link, and I'm going to do a big public one later. But yeah, so essentially the one on the left is my personal feelings about the game, how I feel about it personally, where I rank it in my own life, my own eyes, how about my favorites. The right list is my attempt at, based on the game itself and what it deserves as a game as a whole. Not just my feelings about it, but what the game did for the series, how it evolved things, what it progressed, where it regressed, what it did right, what it did wrong, that kind of thing. So I'm making two lists at once on purpose. It's really hard to separate my personal feelings from that and just making a single list because I feel like my personal feelings would overwrite too many things. That's why there's two lists in my eyes. Anyways, Jekumon, I hope you're up. Were you playing Armored Core? What were you doing? But yes. Oh, that's right. Tonight's the weekly tournament. So what was tonight's theme? What's up, Ronan's Ghost? Hey, Ronan, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a little while. Yes, if you have not seen Jeff Keighley's review of AC4, do I look this up? Does that rule set? Oh, okay. Do I look this up and show everyone what he's talking about? I could. It was a little bit, The Lore Hunter has a video on this. Let me pull it up. Yeah, that's the Lore Hunter for his video on this. Let me turn the audio back up again. Here you go, chat. I'll let it play. I'll let it speak for itself.
You must be ready.
Tonight, we are thrilled to share with you another global game announcement.
It's Armored Core 4.
That's right.
And I don't...
This is back when Jeff was on G4.
Is this really the fourth one? Because it's
apparently, well, From Software, the guys who developed this, they they did Chrome Hounds, Armored Core, they do all these kind of mech games. And I gotta say, I'm just so sick of these mech games.
This comes from one of the most decorated developers in the world.
I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10.
You got to be below 5 on something like this. I was really disappointed. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10.
Who consistently pushes this medium forward.
I love the split. By the way, shout out to Lore Hunter. I love the split between him being so excited to announce AC6 versus this.
Each of its releases.
On the negative side, there is online play, but I don't know who'd want to play it. There's not much in the way of modes, and there weren't many people playing online when we checked. The actual single-player missions are really short, and there's not a big sense of destruction in the environment. And the gameplay doesn't really have much next-gen to it. I mean, there's really nothing that you're doing here that you couldn't have done on a previous
Chat, Armored Core 4 is not next gen. Let me go back. Ready? Listen to this.
gen to it. I mean, there's really nothing that you're doing here that you couldn't have done on a previous system. Someone's got to shake up the next-gen mech combat genre.
This studio has been nominated multiple times for Game of the Year here at this very show.
This thing, I mean, it is one of the worst games I've played so far this year.
And I am beyond grateful that they have chosen the Game Awards as the place for this global announcement.
It's just this thing it really sucks.
It's so good. Oh, Lord,
Boring actions though, Vic, and it's the future where no one knows what's going on.
I know.
Oh, Lore Hunter, you're killing me with this. Killing me. Oh. Yes, that's what Big Rigs is talking about. And yes, Big Rigs, I will be fair to AC4.
I've got your back, buddy.
Hey, Cleric, I don't know if you saw, but there was an announcement of a DLC for Elden Ring Night Ring during the State of Play today. So maybe we will have an Armored Core announcement in the Game Awards.
Yo, Rupert with the 20. Dude, seriously, y'all are way too kind tonight. Way too kind. Thank you so much, Rupert. He's one of my members on YouTube for months and months, like one of the earliest ones. Really appreciate you, man. But yes, I did see that State of Play did announce the DLC for Night Rain. So yeah, I feel like that would have been to a certain point Game Awards worthy announcement, but they're releasing it like December 4th, so it's even before the Game Awards happen. So yeah, I feel like that kind of opens that door even more than before. So we'll see. I really think we might see something at Game Awards announcement-wise for AC6 or a DLC or something. We'll see. I really think so, or a new game. We'll see. Yeah. Thank again to Big Rigs. Thank you, Rupert. Thank you, Jim. Come on for the raid. I'm glad I could show you all that Jeff Keighley clip. That's what he was talking about. Yeah, it's pretty. It's rough. It's a rough go. Hear him talking about Armored Core and how bad it is. Armored Core, it's a rough go. Yo, it's Chang. Chang, good to see you, Chang. They dropped the Armored Core Remaster Collection for AC. Oh, by the way, Nesto, thank you for the sub over on Prime sub over on Twitch. 14 months. Jeez, man. That's crazy. All the subs and donations today. It's crazy. Thanks, Rupert. I appreciate it, man. So yes, we're on to Another Age. Like I said, I was about to rank Another Age, and as I was giving a disclaimer, my personal feelings about Another Age. From a personal, so let me go to objective first, then go to personal this time. All right. The versus missions Another Age, flippin' phenomenal. You know, the piece of wreckage, Cleric, give the audience an aneurysm whenever you're ready. Oh gosh, is it on Discord? Let me see, which one's this? Which one is this, Jacko? Oh, I know that clip, Jacko. All right. I know what clip you're talking about. When we get to 4, we'll see. When we get to 4, Jim, we'll see. I'll think about it. I know what you're talking about, though. All right, I saw the thumbnail. I know what you're talking about. But yeah. So from Versus missions, another age. Let's set her back in here. The Jeff Keighley nightmare of his review of Armored Core 4 was just so bad. Versus mission, another age, awesome. The remakes, revisiting the boss fights from Project Phantasma and MOA, awesome. I also think it's absolutely hilarious that you can do the, honestly, chat, if you didn't know this, the tactics you used against the Phantasma weapon and 9-Ball Seraph back then actually still work in another age. The AI, I don't think they reprogrammed the AI at all. I think it's almost a direct port of the AI from the games, because there's a trick you can do both in MOA and in Project Phantasma where you go towards the back of where you're at and just jump up and aim straight down. They'll just stay underneath you and you sit there and kill them and not do anything else. And it works the exact same way. It's so funny doing it. You just go to the back of the arena, jump up, wait, they'll go around you, and then you can hop down and just blow them up from below you. It's so stinking funny. Yeah, Shinzo, the tactics that worked in the first Gen 1 also work in another age in the repeat fights. Yeah, it's 1-to-1. In fact, when I did my another age playthrough, I showed that off a little bit. See if I can pull it up real quick. It's worth looking at because it's funny. If I can find it real fast, I'll pull it up. Otherwise, I don't want to take too much time on this. I don't want to take too much time, but it is funny. I think it's a part 13. Where was this in this? Boss. Oh, here it is. Boss Rush. I found it. My video.
I remember those being bugged for some reason or having problems.
Combat system engaged.
It was Project Phantasma. I think it was the Phantasma weapon I did it on.
This hero is. He's cool.
Combat system
All
engaged.
All right, watch this, chat.
Problem's gonna be these missiles until he gets in place. All right, I'm gonna have to kind of not look at him if he tries to get behind me. Now.
There you go, chat. He's stuck right. He won't move. He'll stay right there the whole time. Won't fire at you. Won't go after you.
Give me that work first try. That's crazy.
Dead.
I'll never forget the first time I showed that to Zealous. He's like, wait, you can do that? Oh, man.
Yeah. You can abuse you can abuse Seraph the same way too. In my heart. All right, anyways. If it fits, it sits. All right. So, another age, obviously very content rich. You know, 103 missions. Like it's there. Obviously the verses didn't really fix much so far as the performance issues. I feel like, objectively speaking, I feel like another age doesn't revolutionize enough compared to AC2 and the same performance issues. I'm still gonna stick it here in the bottom half of A. All right. So I think it's pretty much adjacent to 2. I don't think there's any real difference, in my opinion. Now, from a personal perspective, chat, I'm gonna be honest with you. Aside from the versus missions, all right, aside from the versus missions, and aside from the revisited boss fights, all right, the complete and utter lack of story, the fact that they've had the arena since Project Phantasma, MOA, to AC2, and then having no arena in Another Age, and then to go on top of that and make it so there's zero story, and so many of the missions felt so like repetitive. Chat, to be honest with you, I find this game boring. I personally find Another Age a little bit boring. I do. It feels too bland. As I said, versus missions, outstanding. The revisited boss fights, really cool. Just the game feels so diminished. It feels so diminished as a game, in my opinion. So, as far as where I personally rank it, I am probably gonna, this will be the first thing you see in my personal ranking system here. My personal feelings about it. This is probably gonna go in the bottom of my list. Just being honest. I think from an objective perspective, it's still better than AC1. But from a personal perspective, Another Age is just... It's, yeah, I just can't. Ranking the games themselves, Drift King. The list on the left is my personal feelings. The list on the right is my attempt at being objective or judging the game based on the game itself. Yeah, but my biggest problem is Another Age just felt like a step backwards. That's how I felt about it. Oh. Lament over the Howling Age, chat. Yeah, I know, right? That's the weird thing. So they had an arena in the game. They could have done it. Yeah, exactly, Sabbath. Yeah, MOA had an excellent story and all the thousands of arenas. So yeah, exactly. So yeah, to me, there's no excuse. So Armored Core 3. Yeah, I talked about the boss fights. The boss fights are really good. Like, the remade boss fights are amazing. But I find the game a little too repetitive, a little too boring, in my opinion. Armored Core 3. This was, to me, when Armored Core 3 came out, it felt like the first true evolution of the series. Like, 2 at Another Age just felt like a pure extension of the Gen 1 games. Like a pure extension of the Gen 1 games, right? Second Gen was essentially just a graphics update for the Gen 1 games, while also not making them quite as good, in my opinion, right? I feel like they were a step back from MOA in a lot of ways, just better graphics, right? AC3 was on a whole nother level. AC3 is where I really started kind of like cementing my like heavy biped ways, and that followed me for a long time in the games. As I mentioned, the soundtrack in 3 is awesome. That's another thing about 2. So it's the other thing with Gen 2. Well, part of the reason these are here also is the fact that Gen 2's music, it just pales in comparison to Gen 1's. Like, Gen 2's music as a whole was a step back from Gen 1's music. There's so many iconic tracks in Gen 1. Gen 2 just... I like Gen 2. To me, Gen 1 soundtrack is bounds better above than AC2. I like all the AC music. I like it all as a whole. But I don't think AC2's even remotely stands up AC1's general track list. There's a couple really awesome banger tracks in 2. But, dude, the overall track list in Gen 1 is nuts. Absolutely nuts. So I'm ranking this not just purely based on gameplay alone, other things. I'm being it based on a lot of things. So, from a personal perspective, I am putting 3 in S. Not S plus. I'm putting it in S. All right, it's definitely in the top third for sure. Like 3 is just an incredible game. So good. All right. Now, from an objective standpoint, I think it actually matches, to be honest with you. I'll put it in S. It did so much great things for the series, and started down the track of the 3 to Silent Line to Nexus to Ninebreaker to Last Raven angle. That 3 is really good. All right. The sound design, the continuation of the mecha designs you had, like the mecha, like the mech designs, the AC designs in 3rd gen are just incredible. And yeah, this just seriously, Armored Core 3 was just such a huge step up, in my opinion, compared to other games. Like compared to 2nd gen especially, I feel like 3 was the first true evolution from the 1st gen games. If that makes sense. Now, Silent Line. Silent Line, chat, from a personal perspective, is the first in-person Armored Core tournament I ever played in was in Silent Line. First one. All right. So the very first in-person tournament that I ever went to was run by Zealous. It was called Ravens of Peoria because we're from that area in Illinois. And yeah, a whole bunch of people bring in CRT TVs. We bought an iLink or Firewire hub, hooked a bunch of PS2s together. We had twos tournaments and singles tournaments. You had like 19 people come down and do the tournament. Like 20 of us total in the bracket. That day was like started like at 8 a.m. We ended up staying till almost midnight. Like that was some of the most, like that day is forever just ingrained into my brain. Right? Like just like 16 hours of just playing other people in person in a tournament or PvP setting in Silent Line. Just formative, dude. Like, it's one of the best experiences you will ever have. This, yeah. So with Silent Line, the amount of parts, dude. Parts, the variations, which will give you some more customizability. The sound effect, the sound design, the garage design was a major improvement from 2, in my opinion. Just, dude, Silent, and the only gripe, I said it when I played it too. My only gripe is the final boss. Ibis is such a freaking disappointment, man. Ibis is such a freaking disappointment, dude. Like, all this build up the entire game, and the Ibis fight lasts 10 seconds. Like, it's... What are you doing, FromSoft? What are you doing? And those who saw my playthrough... Yeah, and those who saw my playthrough know... I did that with a heavy biped. That thing was slow. Slow. Real slow. Yeah, the big whites are more daunting. They are. They seriously are. Yeah, see, so that's a good point. The concept was good, but the execution just, yeah. The fight, seriously, 10 seconds done. It's just so simple. That's my only gripe with the game, is that the boss fight is just way too easy. That being said, Silent Line, in my opinion, deserves to be here both from a personal perspective and also from an S+ perspective on an objective. Silent Line is borderline a masterpiece. I don't rank it above Master of Arena. Speaking of which, I'm going to put this here. So it's first in the list. But dude, Silent Line is good, man. Silent Line was so good. I probably in high school, I probably have close to 1,000 hours in Silent Line, maybe more from high school time, maybe. So ask Zealous, so much time spent in the garage, just minor tweaks and then doing verses. So many afternoons I went to Zealous's house. We hooked up the link cable. I was in one room, he's in the other. We just fight each other. Seriously, so many days of that, man. So many. But yeah, no, Silent Line, S+. If you draw it out, you actually can see it. Yeah, the AI learning system. Yeah, exactly. The AP is the problem. The full resupply also makes it a little easy too. Yeah, exactly. All right, so then we get to my beloved. All right, everyone knows where I'm going to put this. Just saying it now. Everyone know. Anyone's ever watched my videos, watched my streams, you know. Nexus is my GOAT. You know Nexus is my GOAT. You know this already, okay? You know this. Now, there's a wide variety of reasons for that. All right? There's a wide variety of reasons for that. One, it is my copy. It's right there. Let me see. Let me grab it. I'm not gonna grab it. I forgot that was on top of it. I don't want it to fall. Anyways, 2 discs, right? Yeah, next to 2 discs. That copy right there, chat. That is the copy that Zealous, my best friend, pre-ordered. Picked up the day after I got diagnosed with cancer. And then he gave me my copy as I was leaving that morning to go down to St. Jude Hospital for treatments. Okay? Thanks, Drift King. That is where that is that game right there, okay? One, two, it got, see, and you understand, you guys know a little about the Midwest community. We didn't diverge. We didn't diverge our, in our tournaments, in the Midwest tournaments, we did not diverge from Human Plus, from OpI, from non-OpI. So in the tournaments, OpI players were playing against non-OpI players, which made me hate OpI with a passion. Like, it made me hate it with a passion, chap. And so when Nexus got rid of Human Plus, I was so freaking excited. I'm like, yes, Plus is dead. You know how bad, you know how much not having Plus and Nexus like killed it for some people in our community. When OP Intensify, when that got removed from the game, there were 3 players from our scene that permanently quit the game. There were 3. By the way, one of the guys who quit won one of the major tournaments we hosted with like 40 some people in it. Yeah. He actually quit when it got pulled. That's how much, like, it not being in the game anymore killed it for him. So yeah. So put that there, right? So that made me happy. And then again, of course, Disc 2 with the remakes of the old missions is utterly incredible. The soundtrack at Nexus is mwah. I like the Nexus soundtrack even more. Like the 3 and Silent Line soundtrack. Like, Nexus has so many freaking bangers. It's amazing. Like, it's just awesome. Now, Nexus gets really dark some places. Especially with the pseudo 9-ball ending, which is like just terrifying. That being said, I absolutely love Nexus. All right. Now, from an objective perspective, okay. From a there's some roughness with this game. There are some decision-making processes with this game that are kind of frustrating. One is the menu. I as much as I love the game, the menu in Nexus is awful. Like, it might be one of the worst menus in the series. Like, the menu is bad. It's real bad. Well, okay, there's that one. Two. The heat mechanic is too much. Like, I mean, you could design around to get used to it, but even so, dude, the heat mechanic, man. The heat mechanic, man. Like, I know people make a joke about it being like, you know, being a firefighter simulator sometimes, but dude, legitimately, the heat was like rough in this game. I mean, I'm okay with the heat system in general. It was way overtuned in Nexus. All right, way overtuned. Number 3, the mission structure in Nexus is rough. It's real rough. Like the base game, the mission structure is it's rough. The closer you get to feeling in a microwave. Challenge the one mission was just a helicopter ready. Yeah, exactly. There's some questionable decision making processes. Like some of the decision making process of the games were bad. For the missions, I mean, the missions were bad. They're bad. So I think this is I think Nexus was the right direction for the game to take after Silent Light, especially, but it definitely has some problems from an objective standpoint. All right, I can understand why people would struggle with it. I understand why people would have a hard time with it. Yeah. Oh yeah. And not Shinzo brings up a point. Not to mention that the mission briefings were. Yeah, Nexus is the epitome of a lot of well-intentioned ideas that didn't come to fruition. Jacko, what briefings? Exactly the point. So, as much as I love Nexus, and for good reason, I think from an objective standpoint, I think Nexus goes in the bottom half, top of A tier. All right, I'll put it above To Another Age, but just behind Project Phantasma. Like, I feel like from a more objective or more holistic or analytical standpoint, I think that's kind of where it deserves to be. For all the things I just mentioned. We were briefed? Exactly my point. All right, so Ninebreaker. Ninebreaker is interesting. You see, chat, from a personal perspective, remember chat, remember? I adore Nexus personally. I adore it. I adore Nexus. All right, remember that, right? And I saw Ninebreaker get announced, like, ooh, Ninebreaker, we're gonna get 9-ball back again. And like, I remember all the hype, all right? Yeah, I appreciate this too, exactly. And all the hype, like, dude, Ninebreaker, they're bringing back 9-ball, and I'm like, my brain went all these places, right? Thinking about that, you know, you can't hype up a 1997 started with a demo disc AC1 Armored Core super fan and tease to me 9-ball being a, you know, coming back to the game, right? All right. And then I got the game. And then I got the game. And what did we get, chat? Did we get a massive new story centered around 9-ball? Hey, quick question. Do you get any of the money? You get money if we watch the ads during the stream? Technically, yes. I don't know if it really matters. It's just on by default. You can watch if you don't want to. I don't care. Like, I don't do this for the money. But did we get a brand new story centered around 9-Ball? How did he come back? How did he return? What was his origin? No. We didn't. We literally got a whole bunch of training missions. It was a lot and a lot and a lot of training missions. That's what you got. Training, and then training, and then training, and then more training. See in Leap Balloon. Now, when we transitioned over to PvP in this game in our scene, I can tell you that we enjoy the PvP a lot more than we did with Nexus, because obviously they toned the heat down. They just, although the worms were a problem in the game, obviously. But it was a step in the right direction PvP wise, because it was better in that sense, right? And the arena was really cool in Ninebreaker. I'll give, they brought the arena back, and the way they did it was super cool. I liked that a lot. All right. And I gotta tell you, when I was so disappointed in this game for so long, like, to me, Ninebreaker was a massive letdown. All right. So originally, if I would have done this tier list 3 months ago, this is probably where Ninebreaker would be right now. All right. That's probably where I would put it. Just to be honest with you. Probably where I would put it. That being said, because later on I went back and played some more PvP with some people and enjoyed it a lot more, I could bump it up potentially, but if you ever seen Link's Tetsu's, look up Link's Tetsu on YouTube. They recently did a set. I watched the speedrunning community do speedruns of the Ninebreaker training missions, and dudes, that's some of the most fascinating and cool like gameplay I've ever seen. Like, how they've optimized the snot out of this game is incredible to watch. Like, if you haven't had a chance to look at, let me look it up real quick. I'll link it to you. He's like, I can find it on his account. I know he posted it at some point. I'm trying to find where he posted it though. I want you guys to look at these and get a chance later on, because it's genuinely cool stuff. And Lynx did like the English commentary on the live stream, so it's really cool to see, like, you know, he explains what's going on in the games. It's really well done. Let me find, if I can I not find it? Hello? Come on now. Is it on here somewhere? Where'd it go? Huh. I don't see it on his channel. I really thought he re-uploaded it. If I find it later, chat, I'll post it. But yeah, no, it's super well done. Like, super well done. It was like two or 3 months ago. Jacko. Yeah, if you watch that, it's really cool. So because the PvP is a fair bit better than compared to Nexus, and because those speedruns are really awesome, I like them, I'm gonna personally put Ninebreaker here. All right, that's where I'm gonna put it. All right, thanks, Jacko. It's Link Tetsu's the one that did the English commentating on it. Maybe it might just be on his Twitch. Maybe look at his Twitch VODs. I didn't look at that. From an objective standpoint, I feel like this is another age example where I feel like this is a reversion. They went backwards. Like, To go from Nexus to this doesn't feel like a upgrade. It doesn't feel like a downgrade because, like I said, Nexus objectively has its problems. It does. But, dude, it's such a weird direction to take. It's such a weird direction to take for the game. Like, I'm trying to understand the mindset as to why they would have picked it. Yeah, I mean, you know, that's a good point. I think calling it Ninebreaker was part of the problem. If they would have done something else with it, maybe I could see it happening. Now, I also think what happened with this, that I think there's definitely some correlation between Ninebreaker and Formula Front. Like, you can almost feel some similar vibes to the random arena and the training missions almost being like a forethought or a pre-thought to like the Formula Front stuff. I feel like they obviously were developed in tandem to a certain level, and then combined. You know, it's I don't know. I understand what they were going for. It just maybe like you said, like Shinja just said, maybe it wasn't called Ninebreaker. That probably would have helped. Maybe. For like a Nexus balance patch. That might be a way of putting it. I don't know, man. I'm gonna put it here in B+. Same rank I put on my. I think it's pretty similar. I think it's similar enough. That's kind of where I put it. Like, it's just PvP wise, an improvement from Nexus, but the rest of the game, in my opinion, just. I think as a complete, like, you know, as an individual isolated game, I have a hard time ranking it much higher. I really do. I have a hard time putting it higher. All right. Formula Front. Now, this is when I would have been in college, and I had a PSP in college. What I did not have with me in college was my PS2, because my PS2 was shared between me and my brother. So my brother had the PS2, and I had the PSP. I had so many hours in Formula Front. Now, granted, at first I was really disappointed about how about the self-control versus automated controls. But dude, the soundtrack in this game, and how the game ended up functioning, dude, like it's such a different game, which makes it feel off-putting at first. But dude, once you kind of get the game figured out and you get into it and figured out what it's like, dude, the game is just fun. The game is just fun. Like, it's when you finally get your AC doing what you want it to do and just start wrecking face is such an awesome feeling. Like, Formula Front, in a sense, was almost like a precursor to the Auto Battler mobile games. Like, in a sense. Which almost sounds funny to say. Obviously, there's no pay to win in this. Which helps. It's almost like a precursor to the Auto Battler games. It's kind of what it felt like, a little bit. And, dude, this is like a little bit of a nostalgia fest because I spent so many hours doing this at college. So for me, where I would rank this game is right up here in, man, do you have an A++? I'm gonna put this at the top of A+. I might move this later. I might put it up in S because I really like Formula Front. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. It'll be the back end of S. What we're gonna do. I'm gonna put it back in the back half of S. I really enjoy this game. It's fun. If you've not given Formula Front a chance, you should. All right, you see this here, chat? Look, it's the Formula Front 20th anniversary league thing. I got one of the coins from Japan. Like, that's how much I love these things. All right, I love Formula Front. It's awesome. I'm looking forward to getting to it on the stream sometime. All right, now from an objective standpoint, this was a curveball. This came out of nowhere. Yeah, I saw the next one's coming up. I watched the most recent one. It was good. Stop Ogre Battle Con. It's the AI plastic gotcha drops. Yeah, kind of. So, like, I you know what? But this was this was out of nowhere, and a lot of people didn't know what to expect. Like, there's also a PS2 version of this, by the way, which feels weird. So I feel like it doesn't deserve the bottom half, but it doesn't deserve to go up anywhere up here. So I'm gonna put it right here in just the first one, an A+ for objectively speaking. Like it's a fun game. It's a weird Armored Core game. It's not really Armored Core per se. I mean, it is, but it isn't. You get the idea. Like it's just it almost doesn't belong on the tier list. It's like its own thing. Like, I feel like it's almost its own thing so much that it almost shouldn't even be on the tier list in the first place. Like, I almost feel like it should be completely different. Alright? Should be completely different. Alright, so I'm going to put it in the top half. Yeah, it almost doesn't belong in Armored Core because there's something called, quote-unquote, peace times. Yeah, Armored Core when there's peace on the world. What is this? Armored Core with no corporate warfare. What is this? So yeah, it's like it's in a weird spot. It's hard for me to rank it just because it's just so different. It almost doesn't feel like it doesn't belong here. Peacetime isn't real, cleric. It can't hurt you. All right. Now we've gotten the last Raven. All right. All right, chat. Let me be straight up with you as far as last Raven goes. I'm going to put it here. Ready? The first thing I think of when I think of last Raven. Are you ready for this? I'm going to start with the objective one. It goes here. Rank 1 S+. Now, let me explain why. Okay? Let me explain why. To me, Last Raven was the quintessential. It was the pinnacle. It was the lead up. Nexus and Ninebreaker gave way to give us Last Raven. Alright? What's up, Quartz Clock? Good to see you. Last Raven, man, I have, of all the Armored Core games on the planet, I probably have the most hours on Last Raven. All right. So many hours. Multiple tournaments we've done on Last Raven. Multiple. Like, it's just... The biggest thing that holds it back, obviously, is the soundtrack, because the Last Raven soundtrack is... Last Raven soundtrack's a little rough, guys. It's a little rough. Last Raven soundtrack's a little rough. But when I think of Armored Core, I think of Last Raven. Like, Gen 3.5... pinnacle 3rd gen AC experience. It's just the mission structure, the boss fights, like it just it does so many things well. And the game is stupid hard. Oh yeah, thanks, I just brought it up. The game is dumb hard. Listen, I mean, so many hours in Last Raven. So many. It just, I know some people, especially on the Armored Core Discord, be like, "Woo, what are you talking about?" No, dude. Like, but dude, seriously. Like in the Midwest scene, when we look at it, way too much artificial difficulty in the game. To me, like Last Raven's like the complete package. Like as a standalone game on its own, it's the complete package. So that's why I put it. So when I think, so the first game that comes to mind, if you want to say Armored Core, I look at Last Raven. That's what I think of. First thing I think of. Now, from a personal perspective, I have some issues with the game. One of which being the underweighting, which was a nightmare to balance around for tournaments. Like, tournament balancing for this game was a freaking nightmare. The ban list was huge. Like that, and that was being the fact we helped do tournaments, that made it a pain to do. And I love the story and the boss fights. Like, it's probably like some of my absolute favorites in general. And so from a personal perspective, I'm gonna put it up here in S. That's the top of S. It doesn't go S plus, because like I said, I feel like these are just a little bit better games in my personal viewpoint. As far as my enjoyment of them, no. Man, I have a really hard time. It's either going to be top of S or bottom of S plus. It's really hard. I'm going to leave it there for now. I might move it. We'll see. I might move it. Time for the hot takes of 4th and 5th gen. Sabbath, you might be more right than you realize. All right. Remember, I'm gonna do my best to personal take versus objective take. I'm gonna try my best here, like I said, right? I have a lot of hours on AC4. I have more hours on AC4 than I have on 4Answer, to be honest with you. I do. I became the leader of the Colossus faction during AC4, and I host clan battles and clan tournaments on the forums online on AC4. Like, I have a lot of time in AC4, a lot. All right. I don't know if I'm actually the one who developed it or made it popular, which is the old stun and whack play style: stun them with cannons, whack with laser cannon, that kind of thing. Here's my from a personal perspective. I really enjoyed the PvP aspect of 4 conceptually. Let's put it that way. Conceptually, I liked 4 as a whole. My biggest problem is this was the burgeoning of a couple things. One, online play becoming such a thing. And not gonna say, I was the unfortunate person who picked 4th gen on PS3 versus Xbox 360, and I found out later on that apparently Xbox 360 had a much better online experience than the PS3 version, and that probably heavily weighs down my general experience with this series, with 4 and 4Answer. Probably makes a fair bit of difference, because my only experience with this series was on the PS3. Two, the environments. Dude, the big open desert environment constantly being what you play on I did not jive with at all. Like, I didn't jive with it, man. Like, I was tired of constantly just fighting in the desert. Like, it got so boring, man. And the worst what I say, we actually hosted an in-person tournament we tried to anyways for 4. Like with a LAN cable and stuff, like a port hub. And I can tell you what, the online tournaments versus in-person tournaments played so differently in this game, it was stupid. Like, you had to pick, you had to have a completely different build to play in person versus playing online. But the overall aesthetic in the build of 4 is it's so bleached out. I don't like it. And honestly, one of the saving graces of 4th gen is the music. And I'll be honest with you, chat. I didn't like the near infinite resources feel. I don't. I was so used to resource management in the previous games that I felt like it was a non-existent thing in 4th gen. That having almost no resource management just felt weird. Having almost zero resource management in this game just felt weird. Not having to watch my heat, not having to watch my energy gains basically ever. Not have to watch it just. I feel like resource management was such an integral part of the games that to not have it in this game just it made it feel just less. It made it feel less complex. Like I felt like there was almost no drawbacks to playing badly a lot of times. Obviously there was. Let's say there wasn't any drawback to playing badly. I feel like I feel like you can make a lot more mistakes in 4th gen than the previous games and still end up being okay, if that makes sense. So for Armored Core 4, from a personal standpoint, I really didn't enjoy it that much. I didn't. I didn't enjoy it that much. I had a lot of hours into it. The online battles with the clan things, the clan battles things makes me. I enjoyed that part of it, but it's gonna go on the bottom half. I'm gonna put it in front of. I'm gonna B+. No, I'm not gonna go there. It doesn't deserve A in my opinion. It doesn't. From the objective standpoint, it's hard for me to know where to put this. It genuinely is. It's really hard for me to know where to put this. Like, I think it's gonna mirror on both ends. Like, it's one of those things where if it was next gen but not. I mean, not to, like, you know, I hate to give, you know, this doesn't feel right to me though. I feel like there's some things it did some things right. It did do some stuff right. Like, you realize a B+ is like an 88 out of 100, right? So, but dude, the arena on this was awful. Yeah, oh, there it is. Yeah, Line just mentioned it. Yeah, the arena. Oh my word, the step down the arena. Is the arena in 4 even easier than 6? It's been a while since I did an AC4 arena. It's been years at AC4 arena. But I remember, was the arena AC4 even easier than it was in 6? Because I remember it being a complete joke in 4. When I get to it, I guess I'll experience it again. But I don't think I don't think it goes up here. I appreciate 4 for what it does. I think it's still where it deserves to be. All right, 4 answer. All right, chat. Let me ask you. Aside from the missions, which are much more iconic than 4.
I've got your back, buddy.
Big rings for $2. Better than just review. Yep. I like the mission structure better in 4 answer. The fights, I think a lot of the boss fights were obviously better for a lot of different reasons. More iconic at the very least anyways. I like the I think it made a lot of good improvements over 4 in general, except for maybe, honestly, is it weird that I feel like the overall package of 4 was a 4 answer is better than 4, but I feel like is the PvP almost a step back? Am I remembering this incorrectly from back in the day? I almost feel like 4A. I like 4 answer. Maybe it was just an online perspective because you got that much faster in 4 answer, and because it still got so much faster, and the lag did not get any better, and that could not get any better. I feel like 4 answer was almost a step back PvP wise. Is that weird?
Warning, AP at 50%.
Yeah, regulations in 410. Yeah, I agree with that, Altizen. Like, I don't know how to explain that. I don't know. Like, I think the overall package of 4 answer is a better game as a whole, but I felt like PvP was like a step backwards somehow. Like, I had a hard time, like when I went from 4 to 4 answer, I played a lot less time in the PvP on 4A compared to 4. It just didn't feel as good. Yeah, patch choicing is a great. Yeah, you're exactly right, Walteason. Exactly. OG Balteus. Yeah. Maybe it was just a netcode issue for me and playing on the PS3 side. That could be it. I don't know, but I think overall as a package, it's a better game than 4. So I think objectively speaking, I think it deserves to be. I think even from an objective standpoint, I think 4 answer deserves to probably be top A, bottom A plus. This is where I'm leaning right now. I don't know. I'm gonna stick it top of A for now. I'm gonna stick it top of A for now. The problem is, I'm talking about like the overall game as a whole. I'm gonna put it bottom A plus. For the front is better than me, in my opinion. I'm gonna stick it right there. That's where it belongs, in my opinion. From a personal perspective, like I said, I didn't like it as much as 4. So I'm gonna put it in the same ranking, just one level behind. Like, I'm including PvP to a certain level from the objective standpoint. This is just purely based on my personal vibe with the game and my experience with it. That's what it's based on. All right. I just realized I don't think anything. Yeah, we'll get there. All right. We're now to 5. I bet Chang's sweating now. Are you sweating, Chang? Chang, are you sweating now? Chang's in the chat. Are you sweating? Just know my hand is on the button. All right. 5. If I 5, do you understand, chat? Let me explain a little bit of my 5th gen experience. I got 5 as a launch title. I had it pre-ordered, picked it up, midnight release, back when GameStop actually did midnight releases still. I played it all that night early on, with even all the problems I had early on. Armored Core 5 is when I actually started my YouTube channel. Back in the day was to record the Japanese streams over on Nico that I post them up on my YouTube. And I played a lot of 5. I played way more 5 than I played Verdict Day. Let me explain why. I played Verdict Day at launch, and I played Verdict Day for about 6 months. Then my PS3 died. Let me explain. I played Verdict Day for about 6 months. My PS3 died a month after I got fired from my job, and my wife was 6 months pregnant. So guess who didn't have any money to buy another PS3? This guy. So yeah, it was the heat sinks, Jacko, by the way. It overheated and died. So I got to play Verdict Day when it first came out. The team, I did a lot of the game early on, beat it all, had a lot of time online early on with Chang and with Zealous and with other people on the PS3, and I enjoyed the experience. The problem is I didn't get a lot of it back when it was like in its heyday to really properly experience the game like I should have, because of the PS3 dying and not having a job when I lost it. Didn't have to work at like third shift at UPS, and then my wife being pregnant and had to focus on those things, right? So I never got to experience Verdict Day enough to really give it like a proper thorough through. It was bad. Like, but I have a lot of time in 5. A lot of time in 5. And I remember my times in 5 very fond. That like the group or clan battle system and owning like the world map and owning zones and in 5th gen. I mean, just I think, Chang, if I'm correct, Chang, I think 5 is the first time you and I interacted gameplay wise, didn't you? Because we didn't play 4 Answer together, did we? I think we started playing together in 5, if I'm correct. I think, yeah, that's what I thought. It just, I have a lot of fond memories of that time frame, and I remember enjoying 5 a lot. So it's going to be the game that goes right here. Not as much as these ones here, but it's the first one to go on the A rank. It goes above 4 Answer, 9 Breaker, obviously, but it doesn't beat these games in my opinion. Hand is still on the button, so it definitely gets an A. So it gets in the 90% in the 90 percentile range, the 90% range, the 90 out of 100 range, 91, 92, what have you. It's right there from a personal perspective. Now, the direction it took the game versus 4th gen and what it did for the series as a whole and how it worked and functioned, I feel like it was a better direction than 4th gen as a whole. Now, anyway, that's not entirely true either. So there's nuance here. Let me be fully apparent straight up with you, okay? Let me just put Armored Core 5 out here, all right? Let me just put it out here. It goes in the same ranking on both sides for 5. All right? It goes on both ends. Let me get the Verdict Day. I want to talk about 5th gen as a whole for kind of my decision-making process here, so I kind of want to... Let me get the Verdict Day. Like I said, only really had 6 months during its heyday. I originally got back into PCVD for a couple days here, thanks to Chang. 4th gen is so different from the previous gens. And then 5th gen is so different from the previous gens, including 4th gen. It's so... The games almost don't feel like the same games. They're so incredibly different. But the transition from 5 to Verdict Day. Anubis with the raid. Dude, it was all the raids tonight. I got raided again. Anubis, what's up, buddy? What were you doing over there on your end of the woods? Doing Armored Core or doing something else? I'm ranking the Armored Core games because it's been a trend on social media and I'm having some fun with it. On the left is my personal feelings and rankings on it. On the right is my attempt at sort of an objective list, sort of. No one's purely objective. That's kind of hard to do. That's my attempt at it. 86? Oh, cool. Nice. Ninebreaker is on the objective list, is at the bottom of B+, and also on my personal list. That's where it's at. You want to kick? I really kick. Verdict Day as a whole was a better game experience. I think it's better than 5 in a lot of ways. I think what it did for part balancing was obviously better in a lot of ways. UNEX, yeah, I was just about to bring up UNEX Sabbath. Yeah, UNEX were incredible in Verdict Day. My biggest issue with Verdict Day was I feel like the missions were too short, if that makes sense. Maybe I'm not remember that correctly, but I remember I feel like they were just the single player aspect of it was just short. Okay. I feel like I was like going back to another age a little bit, where I was picking a mission to go kill an AC in an arena somewhere. Like it was almost like another age reared its ugly head. As far as mission structure goes, it's kind of what it felt like to a point. Yeah, hard mode does help. You're not wrong. I don't know. So I rank 5 higher, Verdict Day higher. I'm gonna put it up here at A+. I'm gonna do the exact same thing up here. I'm gonna put it above 4 Answer though on my objective list. I think Verdict Day is a little bit better than 4 Answer. Now, let me talk about Cyber 5th Gen as a whole. Ready? My gameplay wise or mechanics wise, my 2 biggest gripes with 5th Gen are 2 things. 1, I don't like scan mode. I know some people like it, and I understand why they like it. I personally don't like scan mode. I don't. The HUD, the UI, scan mode, how it functions, it works. I understand the tactical piece, especially with the different kinds of scan modules. I understand those things. It's just, I really do not like the scan mode thing. I don't like it. Like that's purely a personal vibe thing. I do not like scan mode. I don't. Like I know it adds an extra tactical piece to the series as a whole. I understand what they were kind of going for with, you know, planning your positioning and things like, but it's like, it's not so much that it interrupts combat. I mean, maybe it might be part of it. It just scan modo, system modo, scan modo, combat modo, system. Yeah, it just that does get grating after a while. I don't know. It's just I just never liked scan mode. I don't. It's hard for me to even describe it. The combat thing is not it either. It just feels. I felt like they were trying to. It's like they were trying to bring back resource management while not bringing back resource management. If that makes sense, right? So like 4th gen, they just removed resource management altogether, right? Almost entirely. It felt like, hey, I'm a Gundam. I can fly wherever I want, do whatever I want, and go super fast. And I'm now Sonic, and I'm breaking the the sound barrier with my speed. Whereas I feel like scan mode was an attempt to bring back like pseudo resource management, while not really. It just, I don't know, man. Like the voice line thing probably didn't help. That's that piece, right? The other piece that I wasn't a fan of is the color change didn't help either. It's probably the kick to ascend mechanic. Like I don't it feels clunky. Man, I know it's not clunky. Like I know like with the way you can do like quick turns and bounce offs and like zoom around. Like I've seen what people can do in 5th gen, especially who have put a lot of hours in the game more than I have, especially recently. Like the things they can do with the kick, the ascension kick mechanic with like wall kicks. But in wall kicks, it looks cool to a certain level. I don't know. It just. I don't know, Cheng. I know you love 5th gen, like especially your beloved Talim and other things. I get it, but I'm having a hard time grasping like the words to properly explain. Like it. Like I feel like not being able just to fly up, even at the cost of like a major. It didn't feel right to me. Like not being able to, it felt weird. Like it felt weird. The ability not just to be able to boost up when I wanted to just felt odd. Like it's something that had been there since AC1, all the way through 4 answer, right? And then we get to 5th gen, and then it's like, hey, you want to go up in the air? You got to kick off walls. Like it was such a jarring change. One that I can understand what they were going for, and I can respect. It was such a jarring difference from the previous entries that I never quite really, I never gelled or meshed with it well. Like full on respect, full on regards to anyone who could do the insanity they can do. I've seen people do on 5th gen. It's incredible. Like complete and utter mad respect for what people can do in that game. Like some of the PvP and like highlight clips I've seen people do in 5th gen is astonishing, and I think it's freaking awesome. It's just. And I don't know. It just. I don't know. To me, it was just such a mechanic difference from previous games. It felt out of place. The hand is slightly lower off the button. Thanks, Cheng. But no, kudos to 5th gen. I think I understand what I understand what From was going for in the series. We're trying to make it more like you always make the joke about Armored Core being like the militarized mech simulator, that kind of thing. And I feel like this is the most militarized mech simulator the game had ever been. Is 5th gen. Like I feel like you were 5th gen had full blown world domination, corporate and country militaristic warfare on the battlefield feels. Like 5th gen does a really good job making you feel like you're in a struggle for existence and power. 5th gen does a really good job at that, both from a story standpoint and even like even the PvP standpoint. It feels like that's what you're in the middle of, right? So the vibes, love the vibes. But it's just, I genuinely struggle with, I'm not liking really scam mode all that much, and I really don't like the wall kick ascension. I just don't. All right. And now we get to 6. I'm sure a lot of people were interested when I was going to be with 6. Everyone here knows that I am not going to be your typical old head when it comes to 6. I enjoyed 6. In fact, I'll make a statement. A lot of people will probably be surprised, especially from the old gen side, maybe here. Despite some of the mechanics changes we'll talk about here in a little bit. I feel like Armored Core 6, despite some of its differences, was a semi-return to 3rd gen, if that makes sense. Like I when I first got to play the game at the June preview event, I got Gen 3 vibes from the aesthetics and from how the game looks, at this game speed and how it feels. Like I got a lot of 3rd gen vibes from it. And so that's probably why I like it as much as I do in general. But there's a lot of things Armored Core 6 does right. Story, awesome. Voice acting, incredible. Mission briefings, amazing. The biggest thing is the lack of parts in this game. The lack of parts in the game hurts it a lot, in my opinion. There really is not a lot of parts. There really isn't. There's a good number. It feels like it needs more. Now, part of it might be because I'm just like, spoiled brat, from, Verdict Day and like, MOA and Silent Line. We're just like billions of parts, but I feel like it just needed more. Of course, Rusty, amazing. So, 1, 2. From a personal standpoint, I really do. So from the PvP, because I do a lot of PvP in AC and Jen always did in the previous games. I think I'm gonna put this. I don't like how PvP works in the game. I love teams. Teams by far is the most fun. Like, oh, there's 7. Yeah. Teams, the most fun I've had in this game, PvP wise, is definitely teams. For sure. Teams is wicked fun. All right. Yeah, Bloom Boy. Yeah. AC6, when we got the 1.5 update when they dropped Ranked Arena, that was the first time in AC's history where they added new parts to the game. First time ever. None of the previous games got that. We got that with 1.5 in the Ranked Arena release. Yeah. First time it's ever happened in AC's history. So I think with the AP, AP percentage versus AP lead was a difficult choice, but that's a whole nuanced discussion of itself, among other things. It's just parts that were added were the LCB, the Lammergeier frame parts, and the pulse hand missile. This opportunity to add 9-ball for 6. Maybe, yeah. So, from a purely personal standpoint, how I feel about 6 is right here behind AC1. How I personally feel about the game. To me, it's upper half. I think AC1 is more impactful to me personally than AC6 is. But for a personal standpoint, this is where I put it. All right. From an objective standpoint, I just realized there's going to be nothing in B here. Nothing here is going to be in B. That's hilarious. Oh yeah, the attaché and the Shaowei Gatling guns. You're right. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. That's right. The 2 Gatling guns. You are absolutely correct. My bad. 2 shorter Gatlings. You're correct. Those were added. I forgot. You're absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Like they made it simpler to appeal to more people. I think that's true to a point, Anubis. I do. But dude, despite the game AC6 being simpler compared to the previous games, like you realize we just came from Verdict Day, right? You all do realize, like, Verdict Day, hands down, is the most complicated AC in the series, right? Like, hands down, Verdict Day is complicated. So much going on in that game. So any step that simplified, it's not hard to simplify away from Verdict Day. Like it was a change. Yeah, I love Goodbye Thinker. I love this rendition. It's great from the band album. It's so good. But I mean, I respect what it did for the series. I've enjoyed AC6 from the get-go. It has its problems for sure, but I mean, it was a rebirth. All right. And dude, let me just tell you, I talked about this. Let me shout this from the freaking rooftops, okay? Quality of life in AC6 is huge. Do you realize how much of a nightmare building an AC and testing out an AC and changing parts on your AC was up until 6? Like, if you want to change your AC and test something at all, how much of a grind it was to make the slightest change to your AC prior to 6. I don't think enough old gen fans properly appreciate what 6 did for quality of life improvements. For real. Like they don't give 6 nearly enough credit for the quality of life changes that 6 brought. For real. Like, all right, finish test arena, get out of the test arena, go back to the garage, go to the AC, go to the parts, change the parts, apply the parts, get out of the go to the test, go inside, wait for it to load, go. Seriously, every AC's been like that until 6. Every single one has been like that till 6. Like I never forget the first time when we had the preview event. The first time we were in the arena, in the test arena. And I get this live. I'm like, holy crap, Bola! You can live change parts. I remember me, Chang, and Zealous all freaking out at each other at the preview event. We saw you could just live change parts and just live change enemies in the training arena. Was absolutely freaking phenomenal. So yeah, 6. There is, to me, in personally opinion, deserves top half, top half, A+. It's in that range. All right, then from an objective standpoint, in the year of our Lord 2025, Why is the netcode so awful? I realize netcode has been From Software's thing like this whole time. But for real, why is the netcode so bad? Why? Why is it so bad? Like, it really diminishes the product as a whole. The game as a whole, how bad the netcode is. It hurts the game a lot. It looks like they finally figured out, apparently they figured out netcode with Night Rain. Apparently they fixed the netcode with Night Rain. Night Rain's netcode apparently is amazing. So hopefully they learn that and apply that to the next AC game or add-on or whatever. Apparently they fixed it in Night Rain, so I'm hoping they do it next one. Please. Yeah, exactly, Chang. Exactly. You know, Chang, dead on. Yeah. From Software is not some smaller company that we're making the AC games compared to other kind of series. From Software is a cash-generating juggernaut now. The netcode being what it is in AC, to me, is not acceptable. It should have been way better. Netcode DPC. No, don't. Hey, you're giving me PTSD from my 4 and 4 answer days of playing on the PS3. Lag warping everywhere back in that game. VD would disagree. All right, Chang. I see what you did there. Yeah, you're probably right. From a netcode perspective, you're probably right. Which is sad because what ended up happening with 6, right? See you, Sabbath. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate it. So, from an objective standpoint, where 6 sits, the changes to the lock-on, and a lot of people were very turned off by, and I understand why. Doesn't bother me much as it bothers them, but I understand why. But I think a lot of things they did right, reinventing the game, bringing it back, the effect it has. I'm not even talking about sales numbers, but it had a lot of wide reach. A lot of players have gone back and played the older games because AC6's existence. I met a lot of you all on my channel here because of AC6's existence have gone back and played the older games. I feel like AC6, especially for a lot of old gen fans, I feel like AC6 deserves a lot more credit than they give it. I feel like it deserves way more credit than a lot of old gen fans give it. It's not above criticism. Constructive, thought out criticism, I'm good with. But a lot of the stuff I see online against the game is very pedantic and not well thought through, and it just basically falls into like hate meme territory. Not saying it's not above criticism; it doesn't deserve some hate, but I feel like it deserves more credit than it gets from a lot of people. So from an objective perspective, I am gonna put it here. Also, all right. I'm gonna put it in the back of A plus or the top of A. It's either top of the A list or bottom of the A plus list. I'm gonna probably put it here. I'm gonna put it at the I'm gonna put it in A. I'm gonna put it in A. Another A. Haha. I see what you did there. I see what you did there. I see it. I see what you did there. I do. So chat, if you haven't done it before, please go vote on this. I'm going to be getting an aggregated tier list. You guys can go and make your own quick tier lists. It's going to aggregate all the people who submit one on that live tier list I just linked to you. I'm going to put it out everywhere I possibly can. The AC community's had a history of revisionism. Yes. Yes, they have, Chang. You and I both know this well. The AC community as a whole has a well-storied history of revisionism. It's bad. It's real bad. Yeah, let me give you a brief history. Like this is kind of a joke, but also kind of serious. Ready? All the way up through. Let's go to Silent Line. All right, let's go up to Silent Line to be done. Okay. So Nexus comes out. Oh, stupid Nexus! It got rid of plus and not pi. It gets rid of part diversity and build diversity. That's stupid. Oh, it's too punishing on resources. Blah 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 blah. Hate this game. Ninebreaker, Last Raven, years, all the same stuff, right? Go to 4th gen. Oh, this is an armored core. This is an armored core. This is, you're playing a Gundam. This is mecha anime game. This game is it's horrible. It's awful. What do we think we're doing? 4answer comes out. What do we do on 4 is better than 4answer? You're getting faster now. Let's do, what is this anime wing nonsense? Blah blah blah. This is an armored core. And then fast forward to 5, for Armored Core 5. Oh, you know, Armored Core 4answer. It's not so bad. Actually, it's kind of cool. We actually kind of like it. But 5's not Armored Core. It's weird. It's stupid. It does all these dumb stuff with the mechanics and game chain. What is scan? What is blah blah blah. And then you go to Verdict Day, same thing. Oh, yeah, 5, blah, blah, Verdict Day, going things. You know, 5 is bad. 5 is the black sheep. 5 is this. 5 is that. You know, 4answer, they actually are good. Actually, they're actually pretty based games. People like 4th gen are based now because Verdict Day. Then 6 comes out. Oh, what is this? This is an armored core. This is an armored core at all. Blah blah blah. I hate armored core. Or this, go back to making your other games. This is just a other game. This is an armored core. And then 5 Verdict Day. Actually, no, 5 Verdict Day. They're actually really good. They were great games. In fact, they were awesome games. The pinnacle of AC. Like seriously. Like I would like to tell you that's joking. I would like to tell you that that's joking. I'm being a little over dramatic, and I'm being a little exaggerative. Right? It wasn't quite to that level, but it wasn't that far off from that. It's not that far off from that. It's not. Jang would know. He helped run some of the forums back in the day. We saw the chat messages in the chat rooms. We saw the posts on the forums. Like, for real, that's not too far from the truth. It's not. I'm not gonna say I'm not exaggerating at all, because I am. But it's based on the truth. Like it's centered around like things I saw on a regular basis on the forums. There you go, chat. That was my point I always make, Chang. The biggest problem I've always had is that the AC community has always been so small and so niche that when you have the same number of detractors and haters on the series, but a much smaller fan base, it makes that voice much louder, and it alienates a lot of new fans from coming into the series. It always has. That's always been my gripe. Always been my gripe. But yeah. If it's after 97, just another armored core. Exactly. All right. So there you go, chat. Tier list. Personal ranking versus objective ranking. Here you go. All right. I like a little bit to go to the list. You're going to go, link I just sent you in the chat. You're going to go fill that out and put your 2 cents in. I'm going to set this out a bunch of other places too. And I want to get as many people's responses as I possibly can on this to see what the group ranking ends up looking like. I'm genuinely curious what the tier list ends up looking at that point. I want to know. So make your voice heard on that. I think I'm going to end things here because I think that's what's pretty much over. But thank you all. You guys, great discussions, great points. Thank you again, Anubis and Genkumon, for the raids. Thank you again, Big Rig and to Rupert for the donations, for the super chats. You guys were awesome. It was fun going down memory lane a little bit on the Armored Core and what my thought process is and my personal experience with it. Yes, Quartz Clock, you are right. We love Armored Core. We love Armored Core. I could just talk about Armored Core for hours if that wasn't obvious. It wouldn't be hard for me to do. It's just freaking love this stuff, man. Love it. So I'm gonna let the trend continue online. I'm gonna put the post out there. I'll put it out sometime tomorrow. Try to get more places and get people to fill it out. And yeah, I love Armored Core. Thank you all for being here. Again, I guess you guys were awesome chat, awesome discussions. It was a great old time. And whoa, what just happened?
We're war buddies now.
Excuse me?
We're war buddies now.
Anonymous just gifted 10 subs over on Twitch. Thank you, Anonymous.
We're war buddies now. We're war buddies now.
And then Chang with the membership gift on. What are you guys doing? I was just doing the cliche. I was just doing the cliche tier rank thing. This is such clickbait. It's stupid. What is this?
We're war buddies now.
What?
We're war buddies now. We're war buddies now.
What is what? Chang, stop. We're
war buddies now.
You're okay with the community live. Thanks. Oh, thanks, Altizen. Like the it's the end of the stream, chat. You know what? Because of the Chang. All right. Let me pull up that clip from. Let me do this. Let me pull that clip up from Jacko. Let me pull it up. Let me pull that clip up from Jacko. We can watch it together. We'll watch it together here, chat. All right. So, those you aren't aware, this is IGN's. This is IGN's Armored Core 4 answer. Rupert with the gift. Guys! Seriously! Like, too kind. Way too kind. Way too kind. The GameSpot one, Armored Core 5? Okay, I can do that too. All right. We're going into stream overtime here, okay? Going into stream overtime because of all the donations. Let's pull some stuff up here. All right, so this is Armored Core 4 Answers Xbox 360 gameplay duel. You got to see this nonsense, all right? Remember, this is from IGN. Look at this, chat. There's not even a description, chat. There's not even a description for this video. That's how bad this is. All right, let me put the audio up a little bit so you guys can hear it. There you go. Watch this, chat. Look at this next gen gameplay, chat. Bro, they're more trash than me. It's so bad. Oh my word. I'm rooting for champs. Look at this riveting gameplay, chat. Look at it. So riveting. It's been going for 2 minutes. Look, he wins because of the blade. Look at that, chat. Ready? He wins because of the blade. Look at it. Boom. And just like that, he wins. Hey, Chang, is that the one where they talk about the, is that the kill them all video? Is that one you're talking about? Is it the kill them all video, Chang? All right, let me pull it up here for a second.
Viewer mail.
Let's not. I'm trying to find a video. I'm trying to find another video for you, chat. It's also awful. I know what you're talking about, Chang, and I gotta find it. I think it might be the kill them all video, Chang. It might be. You're not talking about the one with Filthy Rich, are you? Oh, you think you found it? Good. Send it. Send it to me on Discord. I'll link it. People need to see this nonsense. You need to see it, chat. Bro, move like a blind turret. Mech battle. Yep. Okay, here we go. Chat, be forewarned. Your poor eyes. Yes, IGN actually put this on their channel of a screen. It says a video camera recording a screen. Oh, it's so bad. Look at the guy just slow walking. Look at him. What was that shot, dude? Turn your boosters on. Oh my gosh, this is so bad. He's aura-farming. I think we can agree this is a net negative aura for sure. Oh, he actually had some movement there for a second. He tried. He tried to get some movement. Did my dad record this? Like, Dad, is that you? Oh my gosh. Yeah, chat, like, dude, the media representation of Armored Core prior to Armored Core 6 was those two videos that we just showed you, like, and even like the G4 TV one. Now let me look at the unedited version of the G4 TV one of Jeff Keighley, because you can see it all in one go. Let me pull up the original version. Let me look it up.
It's Armored Core 4.
That's right.
And I don't. Is this really the fourth one? Because it's
apparently, well, From Software, the guys who developed this, they they did Chrome Hounds, Armored Core. They do all these kind of mech games, and I gotta say, I'm just so sick of these mech games.
I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10.
You got to be below 5 on something like this. I was really disappointed. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10. On the negative side, there is online play, but I don't know who'd want to play it. There's not much in the way of modes, and there weren't many people playing online when we checked. The actual single-player missions are really short, and there's not a big sense of destruction in the environment. And the gameplay doesn't really have much next-gen to it. I mean, there's really nothing that you're doing here that you couldn't have done on a previous system. Someone's got to shake up the next-gen mech combat genre. This thing, I mean, it is one of the worst games I've played so far this year. This thing it really sucks. I give it a 4 out of 10. It's one of the worst games I've played so far this year. It really sucks.
Thanks, Jeff. Oh man. Yes. This is Jeff before Miyazaki. Technically. This is pre-Miyazaki Jeff. Technically. Yeah, it really sucks. But yes, so prior to AC6, if like Jacko said, if there even was any media representation for Armored Core, that's what we got. Those two videos we showed them playing the game just absolutely abysmally, or people like Jeff just crapping on the games. Like, seriously. That was most for a media representation of the series. It was awful prior to 6. Awful. So, that was your 20 minutes of donation overtime thanks to you guys' absurd generosity, which I don't deserve. But yeah. I like that 2LT said, there's too many mech games. I need more mech games that are better. We had some representation. The camera panning through Blockbuster. Correct. See ya, Jacko. You know, yeah, let's have Jeff make a tier making thing of all the mech games he's played and liked. See what his tier list looks like. Oh, man. All right. I think we really are going to call it there finally. I think it's finally it. All right. I think we're going to call it there. I'm going to post this stuff up tomorrow, the tier list and stuff, and try to get that list out for people to put their own votes in. All right. Again, as always, I highly appreciate you all. You all are awesome. I love Armored Core. I love my fellow Armored Core fans here. Love the little community I've knitted together over time. It's been awesome. I appreciate you all, really do. You're a great chat as always. I look forward to the next time I get to stream. I'll see you next time, all right? Later.